So we were talking about the birds, that is the egg-laying birds, and the structure of an egg. Now we are going to see the life cycle of a hen. So the hen lays its eggs in its nest and it incubates the egg, that is either one parent sits on the egg and keeps it warm. This process is known as incubation. So it incubates the egg so that the embryo can develop. Once the embryo inside the egg is completely developed, it develops into a chick and prepares to come out of the egg. In order to come out of the egg, the chick breaks open the shell. This is known as hatching. So the process wherein the embryo is developed, once the embryo inside the egg is completely developed, that is it becomes into a chick, the chick breaks open the shell and comes out. So this process of breaking open the shell and coming out is known as hatching. The young chick grows to become an adult bird. So the young chick grows to become an adult bird. The parent bird look after the chicks until they can look after themselves. So the parent looks after the chicks till they are able to take care of themselves. So this is the life cycle of a hen. So the hen lays its eggs in its nest and it incubates the eggs till the embryo develops, and once the embryo is completely developed, it develops into a young chick, and then the young chick breaks open the shell and comes out, and this period is known as hatching. The young chick grows to become an adult and the mother takes care of it till it is able to survive on its own. So this is the life cycle of a hen. Next we are going to see about the water animals, animals that live in water. Many water animals like frog and fish lay eggs too. A fish lays hundreds of eggs at a time. However, only a few hundreds grow into baby fish. So hundreds of eggs are laid by a fish. Out of those hundreds, only a few grow into a baby fish. So animals like the frog and fish also lay eggs. Next is the life cycle of a frog. Moving on to the life cycle of a frog. So each and every animal has a life cycle, that is from the time it becomes an embryo till it grows into an adult is termed as the life cycle. Female frogs lay eggs in water or wet places. The eggs are laid in large clusters which generally float on water. So a female frog lays eggs and it lays it in clusters, and it is found mostly in water or in wet places, and you find the eggs floating on water. This floating cluster of eggs is called frog spawn. So the eggs are laid by the female frogs and it is found on clusters on the surface of the water, and these clusters, floating clusters, is known as your frog spawn. The eggs are surrounded by a jelly-like substance. The eggs are protected by a jelly-like substance. The egg develops into a tiny young one called tadpole. From a frog, from an egg, it develops into a tadpole. The tadpole hatches out of the egg. It comes out of the egg. A tadpole is very similar to a fish in structure. So the structure of a tadpole is similar to a fish. It has a tail to swim and breathes through gills. In order to become an adult frog, a tadpole undergoes several changes through a process known as metamorphosis. So from a tadpole to develop into an adult frog, a tadpole undergoes several changes, and these changes are known as metamorphosis. So this is the life cycle of a frog. So the female frog lays eggs and the eggs are found in clusters floating on the surface of the water, and this cluster of eggs are known as frog spawn. And when the tadpole hatches out of the egg, and a tadpole looks very similar to a fish. It has a tail for swimming and breathes through gills. And this process wherein a tadpole develops into an adult frog is known as metamorphosis.